My name is Andrew Petrillo. I started, I was introduced to life coaching when I was 16 years old, and I'm 24 years old now. And in that time between 16 and now, I've been coached by John Williams, one of the founders of Coach Training EDU. And he kind of really helped me generate motivation, passion, and just kind of figure out a unique way that I could be successful in school. And he also sparked kind of an interest of, I felt empowered, so I wanted to go out and empower people that had kind of a similar experience or similar struggle and stress that I had going through high school. And so when I was in high school, when I was at the end of high school, I went through the Coach Training EDU for academic life coaching, and I finished that when I was in college. And since then, I've been coaching high school boys and peers in college on academic focused coaching and motivation and health and wellness for making really positive life choices. And now I work for Hayden Lee, who's an academic life coach, an executive life coach in LA. And we have a small client base, and I am currently also working for Precision Cast Parts as a aerospace manufacturing engineer. And then I teach yoga on my other free time when I'm not doing all of this. So that is me. My story. So my story, I feel like, starts when I was in high school. My parents started going through a divorce when I was in about sixth grade, and that divorce finished when I was about freshman in high school. And so just during that time period, and for any high schooler too, it's difficult. It's hard to see your family kind of being pulled apart and fighting, and that just internal conflict, and where no one is, it just doesn't feel good. And so that was kind of one of the reasons I was struggling in school. And I always knew that I was smart. Both my parents are very intelligent people. My sister is very, very intelligent, but for some reason I could not figure it out. I was just struggling. I couldn't focus. I knew that I could do the things that I set my mind to, but I couldn't set my mind to those things. And so my mom was like, "Andrew, you need a therapist." And I was like, "No, I do not." Well, she actually took me to get therapy a couple times, and I didn't say a word in the entire session. And it was super awkward. And I felt awesome because I was like, I'm not going to tell this therapist anything about me. And then she's like, "Okay, I'm going to try something different with you, Andrew." And she's like, "Okay, will you try out life coaching with John?" And I was like, I'll give it a go if you get off my back. And so I show up with John, and we are in this hospital coffee shop, which is a weird place to meet for the first time. And John he just came off as this person that was very, very smart, very motivating and authentic, and cared a lot about just kind of the things that I wanted to work on, not necessarily the what was really happening emotionally for me, which usually therapists dig into that. But John was like, "Okay, let's really just dive into where in your life, what is working, what's not working, the purpose of life coaching is to just really learn how to be successful for you in your unique way." And that's kind of what it's okay, I'll give this a try. He's not trying to be he's not trying to be invasive or anything, but he's going to challenge me. And that's what was okay, yes, let's go. And so I went through the program. My grades started changing. My attitude towards life started changing from negative to positive. I started being able to catch myself thinking in certain ways, like certain thought patterns. And I was able, just like to really just completely transform my life, and transform what I saw my possibilities were. Because I remember taking the PSAT and I did horrible on it. And one of the things, like, they recommend like a career based off of the PSAT, or at least when I did it. And they said, and they said that I should work in the food service or in landscaping. And I was like, what? Like, this is just not where my aspirations lie. And I'm not going to let this test tell me how I should live my life or what I can and can't do. And that's what John kind of supported. And so during my time with John, I was very interested in materials and bike riding, and I thought it was the coolest thing. And so I would see a carbon fiber bike and I would like freak out over it. I thought it was like awesome. I was like, yeah, like I would tap it and it would leave this like dull sound, and you're like, okay, like that's a nice bike, versus like an aluminum bike where it's like a ping. And John's like, well, why don't you take this to the next level and make your own bike? And I was like, yeah, like let's try it out. And it was hard. It was super hard. And John held me to a lot of accountability on that. And that was also hard, hard for a 16, 17-year-old high schooler that was trying to do soccer and life. And it was hard. And I failed hard at that project. And he's like, okay, let's bring the scope down. And why not a kid's carbon fiber bike? And I'm like, okay, this seems easier. And I actually did that. And I went through the process. It took about 3 or 4 months to make a kid's carbon fiber bicycle frame and hook it up. And and to see kind of a concrete product that came out of something that I was passionate about. And that's where it's like, okay, engineering, that's what I want to do. And so I went, during that time, I started the coach training program to become a coach. So at the end of my high school to when I was a freshman in college. And like looking back on that, I was freaking young. I was super young. I was just a little guy, and with this aspirations of becoming a mechanical engineer. And throughout engineering school, I was constantly challenged. I was constantly just put through the ringer in these classes that were confusing, that tried to weed you out, that were competitive, and there's just like no wiggle room, no let up for the entire 4 years. And I don't think I would have been able to. Not once did I question whether or not I was going to drop engineering. It was how much work do I need to put in to be successful? And not once did my mindset kind of shift, because what I knew I was doing, I was passionate about. I was motivated intrinsically, and not for just whatever job was going to come or whatever test grade. And I felt like I had a step up on other students where they struggled with motivation and getting their shit done, and where I could really just sit down and grind it out and be excited about it. And yeah, it was hard. Like there was days and times I didn't want to do it, but all in all, the perspective and the mindset that I took with me through college was a mindset that I developed with John in life coaching. And that was kind of the mindset and the tools that got me through that intense program. And really helped me connect with professors, with students, and just be around people that want to be successful. And I was one of those people. And that's one of the coolest things that I've realized is like, it's these people like John and all these mentors that I've had, is like, I want to like step up and be like them. And I have. And that was a really cool realization when I graduated. And through that process, I've also, in my story, developed a lot of other passions that, I just hold with me. And I feel like I can do along with everything else. And so I teach yoga I've taught yoga for the last 5 years. I did my teacher training after freshman year of college, which was another huge growth step for me. I taught yoga, kind of similar path with coaching. I taught yoga for free for about 1.5 years. And then I landed 3 jobs at once at yoga studios in Spokane. And it was just like, yes, like, this is awesome. And all my friends came. I had 40 people in classes. It was hot. It was hard. It was powerful. And then I was coaching, and I was just empowering people around me. And I was also empowering myself through that. And so, yeah, that was kind of my path through college. And then after I graduated, I was like, all right, this is my time. And I went on a road trip, a climbing road trip with a guy that I met in Squamish, who's from Australia, really cool guy. And we went and climbed a bunch of mountains in the Cascades, went to a bunch of, places to go rock climbing. And then I bought a one-way ticket to South America. I knew no Spanish. I knew nothing. I had a backpack, and my goal was to get to Patagonia. And so over the next 6 months, I worked my way down with a friend for 3 months. Then he left, and then I was by myself, and I worked my way down through Ecuador, through Peru. I taught yoga. I worked in hostels. I climbed 20,000-foot mountains. I learned Spanish. And then my friend left, and then I went through Bolivia. I went through Argentina and Chile, and I hitchhiked through Patagonia for about 6 weeks. And just kind of taking that trip as like more of a journey to get to a place that I've always dreamed about, a place that just was kind of rooted in excitement and adventure and challenge, and just embodied everything that I've been doing. But it was like a location at the southern tip of the world, and I was just like, this is where I need to go. This is the adventure that I need to go on. And so everyone I knew, I told them about this trip, and they're like, oh, no way you're gonna make it to Patagonia. No chance. Some people believed in me, and I had about $6,000 and $1,000 a month for living on the edge, and made it. And then I came back and went through the challenge of actually getting a job, and that's another challenge of itself. And I'm lucky to have had the experience of just dirtbag traveling. And so I worked as a dishwasher. And saved up money, and then I went on another road trip with a girl that I met in Patagonia from England, and we went for 3 months through the States, to Yosemite, to Moab, Joshua Tree, Squamish, all of these beautiful places, and climbed and lived simply, and just had a blast outside. And then I landed a job at Precision Cast Parts, doing a job that is similar to the project that I did in high school, which is super cool because it's like rooted in my passion for like making things out of molds. And I work with titanium, large structural castings, and just this complicated process that is so difficult to do. And yet as humans, we're able to do that. And what was cool is that the process that I developed in high school was very complicated, and which was one of the reasons I got this job. And now I'm here, living kind of out where I want to live, what I want to be doing, with the passions and activities in my life that I can do on a daily basis comfortably, and being with people that are really positive. And just really grateful to have those people in my life and to be in my life where I am. And I think coaching was a huge turning point for me that has just like, there's the saying of turning point, or like, but I think of coaching as more of like the turning point, which gave me the direction, but then also gave me the drive, the like magnitude, the the thrust to propel me in that direction. Not just like, hey, this is where you need to go, but hey, this is where you need to go. And here's all the like fire that you need behind you to get you to where you need to go. And that's kind of my story of coaching, of being in challenge and with a positive, constructive, productive mindset. So what inspired me to become a coach is that was going through the process of being in the process of going through the work as a client. And that was just a very empowering experience where I kind of realized I saw my life from a zoomed out perspective, and I saw kind of what was working and what wasn't working. And just that clarity for my life, and that clarity in organization and motivation, and just that process of learning about myself really just made me want to kind of jump right into like the process of empowering others. And that's kind of where I started. As I was being coached by John, I like had a friend, we were really close, and I kind of like coached her, did some stuff that John did to me in like the coaching program. And when it like doing that, I was just like, it was a very positive experience coaching her on an issue that she was having in her life based off of academics. And I was like, whoa, like there's something behind coaching. Like it's had a positive effect on my life, and I just had a positive effect on someone else's life from just kind of learning and picking up from what John was coaching me about. And that was kind of the spark where I was like, okay, this is something cool. This is something that I think can be just really powerful to have as like if I want to take a career based off of this, or just have it in my toolbox, or do it part-time. And so I got really motivated to explore that. And that's kind of like where like the fire started for like being a coach towards others, is seeing how it empowered myself and then watching it empower other people. Right now, my coaching business is, so I work for Hayden Lee in LA remotely, and I work with clients that he gives me. So I have one client right now, and usually I have 1 to 3 clients at a given time that I'm working with. At the most, I've had 5. And I work with high school boys who are like range from 15 to about 17 years old, who are trying to figure it out, who are trying to kind of figure out like time management skills, beating the procrastination bubble, and just getting motivated and excited, kind of similar to what I was coached on. So, and I work with boys that are, and girls, but most of my clients have been younger teenage boys. And it's I do the academic life coaching program with them, and then I offer any additional coaching on like wellness, and if they want to continue with me after the program finishes. And I've had multiple clients continue with me for a couple, like 6 months after the program finished, and to work on like college projects and just projects in general. If you want to become a coach, what I recommend is just really just jumping in and dropping any expectations that you have, because through the process of becoming a coach, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. I learned a lot about myself in kind of a more like technical way of like how I work, and that's how you kind of translate that into others. And so dropping any expectations of what it's going to be like, of what it's going to who you're going to affect, and really just focus on just like being in the process of becoming a coach, learning these new tools for yourself. And by doing that, you're going to be able to be a better coach for others. And And once you have that foundation, going out and really targeting the group of people that you want to help, that you want to empower. And becoming a coach is awesome. It's empowering. It's empowering to help other people. It's one of the best things, in my opinion, is helping other people. Especially people that are struggling, people that that you have had experiences with similar struggles. So I think becoming a coach just really is about trusting the coaching, the training process, as also trusting the coaching process with your client and with yourself. For young people, I feel that there's a disconnect with with themselves and what is truly important and what is truly kind of beneficial in their lives. And if I was to give any advice to just a young person out there, that someone in college, someone in high school, it'd just be really get out and challenge yourself with the intention to learn about yourself, to learn about what works in your life, what doesn't work, where are you happiest, where are you motivated, where are you excited and passionate, and really challenge yourself to break outside of your bubble of kind of just going through the motions and see what's out there, because we don't know what we don't know. And if we don't know what we don't know about ourselves, and what experiences that we're really going to like, what we're not going to like, what career path, what direction that we want to take our life. But as soon as we start trying to figure out ourselves and learning about ourselves through challenge, through just stepping out of that comfort bubble, and that's where real growth and that real powerful mindset can begin to kind of form and cultivate and really just create some awesome results. I would say that coaching has impacted my life in not just impacted my life, but has completely changed the direction of my life. If I did not have the experience of being coached by John and going through the coaching program, I would be a completely different person. I would be in a completely different place. And not to say that any of that, the place I would be in, is bad, but I wouldn't be where I am today in terms of my personal success and living the life that I want to live. The one thing that I created with John is this kind of vision to live, really create a vision for the life that I wanted to live based off my values, based off my passions, the challenges that I wanted to, live out every day and overcome. And now that I'm living in that and doing what I want, living where I want to be, working with the people that I want to work with, and just getting experience and motivation based off that, I don't see a life that I could live without that now, which is awesome. And I'm just really grateful that coaching has brought me here, because I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for that. Because I struggled in school too much before I had a life coach. I struggled with decision making and all of these things that are just different, little crossroads. And coaching has helped me really choose, kind of make the right choices for my life, for my future, and has allowed me to get to where I am now. So in Coach Training EDU, I was the youngest person there by far. People were 20 years older than me, 30 years older than me. It was intimidating. And I felt that the age was that I could only relate with younger people. And that was not the case. And I learned that by trusting the actual coaching process and being a strong listener and being just a powerful coach, and really using the tools powerfully, I could coach any age. I could coach any person. I could coach anyone through what they were what was going on in their life, no matter. And so that what I learned about myself is that the barriers that I put up, that like those expectations, that if I really trust in the process, those go down and I can really connect with people, no matter who they are, what age they are. And I thought that was really cool. And that was a kind of an aha moment that I experienced, in that process of working with John and those 20 other awesome coaches. But yeah, just that aha moment. It's like, okay, like, yeah, we're all coaches here. We're, even though that I'm younger, I can still impact. And that kind of really just allowed me to see bigger, to see that I could impact teens, to see that I can impact myself, my friends, people who wanted help. And just knowing that, I think that was, and learning that about myself was just kind of one of the biggest barriers that I needed to overcome to actually stepping out and doing the work. Yeah, for who is my biggest influence or has been the biggest influence in my life, I'd really I'd say my mom, and just kind of, I wouldn't say just one person. I would say my mom, John, my dad, one of my soccer coaches, professors, just people that have challenged me but have supported me, has just been the most productive for me to get where I am. Because I think at least with my life, with my story, whenever I was challenged but supported, I felt like I could get there. When I was challenged but challenged in a negative way, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to rise up. But when I was challenged in a positive way and I felt supported in that, and just of other people's experiences, like giving me and helping me like learn about myself, not just telling me what to do. That's what really my mom and John and my dad did. And my soccer coach and just all these positive people. So I'd give them that award. I've had two professors that have been very influential in my life, and especially at Gonzaga. One, his name's Mark Baumgardner, and he's a thermodynamics professor, and he was my senior design professor. And kind of similar. He really set a high expectation for me in his class, in the senior design project, and just with, just every day I interacted with him. And it was always positive. It was always challenging. And it was just a really, really good kind of relationship, or like a friendship, where I felt like I just wanted to just learn as much as I could from this guy, because he was just so awesome. But he was so challenging, and the problems that he gave me and he gave the classes were hard, and everyone was like, oh, these suck. And I thought they were like the coolest problems ever, because they were actually real world problems. And felt like I was learning about the world, not just a subject. And I thought that was one of the coolest classes I've ever taken, one of the most challenging classes I've ever taken. And then after I graduated, the year after, I climbed Mount Rainier with him and another professor, and I kind of took him into my element and taught him some of the things that I knew about the world. And so cycled it back, came back in a circle. And so, and he's a really, really great professor, really great guy. So